Okay. O sige, ito. Pagdebatihan natin ito. No? Bakit nyo ba kasi pinipilit na magkaroon ng impeachment hearings? Hindi pwede magkaroon ng trial o mini trial dyan sa House of Representatives. Sa Senado lang dapat ginagawa yan.
Totoo naman.
This is my point, attorney. Parang familiar ba? hindi kita pagsasalitain dito.
Hindi pala ako makakasalita dito eh. Ba't pa ako nag-guest?
Ngumiti ka na lang. Oo. Diba? You have to understand, no? Ang mini trial, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yan dito sa stage na ito. Diba? Paano kung ipa-contempt yung witness? Anong gagawin?
Pwede. Why not? Why not? Saan ba nakasulat na wala sa Constitution yun? Sila lang naman nagsasabi na kailangan nakasulat. But doon muna tayo sa yung mga nakasulat, di ba? Number one, trial is definitely for the Senate. Ang mini trial is merely a label. It is merely...
Ang hindi mo naintindihan kasi, Attorney Jess Falsis, ito yung problema sa'yo eh. Masyado kang anti-Sara. Pinipilit mo yung gusto mo.
Hindi
Bakit
naman.
Hindi maintindihan?
Ano lang ako, pro-constitution. So sabi ng Constitution, kapag may kontrata, yung title ng contract, hindi yon ang mamumuno kung ano yung kontrata, like labor contract. Sabihin, this is not a labor contract. Pag dumating yan sa Supreme Court, sabihin ng Supreme Court, oo nga, it's a labor contract. Kahit sabi ng agreement, this is not a labor contract. Because ang titingnan natin is yung content. Ang titingnan natin is yung substance. So, napakababaw ng mga tao who say, unconstitutional na yung hearing just because the chairperson uses the word mini trial. Not in the hearing. Ginagamit niya yung word na yon sa interview to help educate, to help enlighten, to help the layman or yung mga hindi abogado understand na mini. Para siyang trial pero mas maliit ang scope at hindi siya ganun ka-extensive. So, yun yung una nating sagot dyan. Bakit ba gustong-gusto natin mag-hearing ang lower house?
Gusto ko sana i-sustain kaso baka talaga hindi ka makapagsalita. Baka madala ka eh. No? Ano ba itong pinasok ko rito? Hindi ako pinagsalita.
Hindi ko alam kung nagre-roleplay ka ba talaga o ano eh.
Ang problema sa'yo, Attorney Falsis, abogado ka lang. Mas maalam ako sa'yo sa batas. Yan ang problema sa'yo. Pinipilit mo yung gusto mo. Ano ngayon?
Well, tama ka. Tama ka doon.
Pa rin yung mini trial eh.
Hindi. Kami mga abogado, nandun ako sa mga side ng common tao. Ayoko gamitin yung pagiging abogado ko just because abogado, hindi na pwede sabihin mali. Diba? Pero, nagbabasa ka naman, Justice Christian, diba? Pareho tayo nagbabasa. Pag binasa natin yung Constitution, nakalagay doon, before the House sends or transmits the article of impeachment to the Senate, before they approve the articles of impeachment, there must be a hearing. After hearing, the respondent can now be impeached. So yung word na hearing, that is textually explicit. Hindi siya invisible, hindi siya nakatago. So tayo, ikaw, kahit sino, kahit hindi abogado, pwede natin basahin yon. And hindi pa nagkaka-hearing ang lower house. Baka sabihin yung sufficiency in form, sufficiency in substance, that's already a hearing. That's not. Ano lang yun eh. Babasahin lang nila yung complaint. So wala pa silang hini-hear. Wala pa silang dinidinig. Ang hearing, didinggin mo yung mga potential witnesses, yung mga complainants, at yung mga evidence or documents nila. So wala pang hearing. And kahit hindi abogado, mababasa yon sa Constitution.
Paano kung talagang ayoko intindihin? O talagang naniniwala ako rin sa isang side lang? Paano mo ako mako-convince?
Kasi kung if you support the Supreme Court who said that you must give due process, di ba? So si Supreme Court na ang nagdagdag din. Kahit na walang hearing dyan sa Constitution, sabi ni Supreme Court, you must give due process, and the essence of due process is the opportunity to be heard. So kailangan bigyan ng opportunity si VP Sara to be heard. But due process also applies to the complainants. So they must also be heard. So that is what justifies the hearing.
Paano mo i-address yung kaguluhan ng isip ko? Kasi last year, ang reklamo ko, due process. Kaya nga kami pumunta sa Supreme Court eh. Ngayon binibigyan mo kami ng due process. Ano yun? Anong logic
Wala
doon?
nang wala nang bawian. Humingi ka ng due process, binigyan ka ng due process, hindi ka na pwede umiyak na sobra-sobra ang due process. Hindi sobra-sobra yan. Binibigay lang yung due process na hiningi mo. So tanggapin mo kasi hiningi mo yan. Hindi naman ibibigay sa'yo kung hindi mo hiningi.
Okay. Sige, ito seryoso na, no? Itong mga to, baka pag kinat nyo itong video na to, sabihin nyo, DDS na ako. Although talagang, convince naman talaga ako sa vision and values ng mga DDS. Talaga nakakabilib no? Okay. April Fools po ngayon, ha? Okay, ito, no? Ito seriously, hanggang kailan ba niya maiiwasan yung pagsagot dyan, no? Kasi ito seriously, no? Last year, kine-question na yung due process. Wala raw. Hindi na rin na-examine yung mga ebidensya, nasilip kung sino yung mga witnesses, diretso sa Senado. Ngayon, nadidinig nating naratibo sa kanila, kung talagang malakas yung reklamo nyo, isampan nyo na sa sa Senado. Ang problema, nandun nga yung patakaran, yung impeachment rules sa House Committee on Justice. At doon sa latest ruling ng Supreme Court, sinasabi ron, ito, nakalatag, ito yung susundin nyo. So the point is, how long if you're Sara Duterte, can you really afford to avoid answering all the serious allegations?
Well, obviously, they use double speak. Double speak is when you say one thing but you actually mean another. So sasabihin nila, they want it in a proper venue, ready sila sumagot, and they're not afraid to confront the evidence. They actually want to cross-examine the witnesses. But the truth is, they never really intend. And when I say they, the lawyers, they're just following kasi syempre the principal. If the principal, VP Sara, doesn't want really to have an impeachment na for an opportunity for the evidence to come out and for her to contradict it because sabi naman nila, they can contradict it and contravene the evidence. I don't think it's really the intention of the principal, si Sara, to have any form of impeachment or avenue for the evidence to come out. So this is the first try sa lower house. So we can expect if the Supreme Court doesn't issue a TRO and doesn't decide adversely against the House, they will still try kapag transmit ng articles of impeachment to the Senate and before the trial in the Senate starts, doon na magpa-file si VP Sara because let's note, si Torion tsaka si Bondoc, they're not really the lawyers of VP Sara. And sa atin, ang magandang, for me, yung magandang development for me, for a person like me who wants Sara to be impeached, hindi nag-issue ng TRO ang Supreme Court nung Monday, kahapon, at ngayon, before mag-Holy Week. Because, the Supreme Court can act quickly naman And if they thought that there was a basis to issue a TRO, I think they would already have. So ako personally, I find it unlikely na mag-i-issue sila ng TRO next week or in the weeks to come, especially when hilaw pa talaga yung petition. Wala pang makikitang grave abuse kasi ang pinaka-basis ng Torion petition, tatlo. One is yung double standards in handling the BBM impeachment versus Sara, allegedly. Second is yung issuances of subpoenas is outside of the power daw of the committee. And then third, ito nga parang mini trial, it's a power by the Senate, not a power by the House. Yung sa double standards kasi yan that's a political question. Can the justices really say there were double standards? That goes into the heart or to the merits of impeachment. If congressmen did not believe there was sufficiency in form or substance of the BBM complaint, there is no way to penetrate or to pierce that discretion. Power talaga ng House yan to decide to vote whether or not lulusot yung impeachment or not. Politically, I can agree na baka may sense yung argument na double standard. But that's in the political realm, pang-election yan. Yung sa second, issuances of subpoena, if you notice, and I think everybody notice it naman hindi nag-subpoena ng bank accounts. Kasi ako initially, yun din ang isa sa mga
Hindi pa raw.
Hindi pa.
Kasi hindi pa yun ang pinag-uusapan
Correct. No, pero nagkaroon ng movement or shift si Terry Ridon and a few other congressmen, if I'm correct, parang ang naririnig ko sa kanila way before, is they were willing to subpoena bank records. Yun ang dating sa akin before that
Kaya
day.
ano dyan, may sagot dyan. Nung nakausap ko si Congresswoman Luistro,
Ang sabi?
medyo na-surprise nga rin siya na hindi pa pinasubpoena yung bank records. Na pwede na yata at that stage, no? Kasi kung pag-uusapan naman dyan yung mga hindi dineclare sa salin, etc., etc. Pero I think mangyayari.
So bakit daw? So bakit daw hindi?
Yun ang pinagtataka nga niya. From her end.
So ako, ito yung sagot ko. In relation with yung sa Torion petition nga, di ba? I think the Supreme Court will not see any invalidity sa mga issuances ng subpoena because they're very all common or normal. Ang questionable if ever na madadama yung House talaga sa constitutionality, kasi magkakadebate yan is sa bank secrecy law, ang sinabing exception doon is parang impeachment cases or impeachment trial. So some contend that the exception only applies to the Senate acting as a trial.
Sorry. Hindi ba term impeachment proceedings? Not necessarily trial.
Hindi either impeachment case or impeachment proceedings. So either way, I think there was space for the Duterte camp to argue na wala siya sa scope of power ng House. Ano ko lang to this is just my sense na kasi nga, di ba sabi ni Kong Jervil, they really wanted to play it safe. They really wanted to follow the letter of the law, play it by the book. So yung mga mas questionable aspects, parang hindi nila ginagawa. Yun ang dating sa akin. Kaya hindi nasama.
So far. Kasi April 14 pa lang naman yung susunod Meron pa mga susunod na hearings I think may magmo-move dyan to subpoena the bank records. Kasi argument nila dyan. Oo. Kasi di ba, proceedings din yung ginagawa sa House
We heard si Senator Trillanes allegedly testify daw kagad as a witness, 'di ba? Kung wala namang bank records na saan papasok yung testimony ni Sentry. Pero again, this is just my educated guess. Bakit hindi pa sasabina ng bank records? Because I think it's more debatable. Again, it will give I'm not saying mali. I'm just saying it will give the Duterte camp more ammunition to question the proceedings. So, ano ba yan? Yun yung second, yung subpoena. Ang third basis nga is yung sa mini trial. Itong mini trial, I'm sure kaya the Supreme Court is not moving because I'm sure they find it senseless too. Una, mga pundits like Secretary Ronald Llamas, tsaka yung mga pipitsuging abogado tulad ko, ang una namang nagsabi niyang mini trial na yan, hindi naman si Kong Jervil. It's just a description, it's just a label to explain to the public. Kung na-pick up yan ni Kong Jervil or sarili niyang naisip yan, when we followed the impeachment proceedings naman, she never, in my recollection, she never used it in the actual hearing sa loob ng Congress. She only uses it sa interview.
Ito pa yung problema. Wala naman yun doon sa rules mismo ng House of Representatives House Justice Committee. Diba? Nandun ba yung mini trial?
Wala. Tsaka hindi nga ginamit ni Kong Jervil. She always says clarificatory hearing. She always says hearing proper or now we are at the hearing stage. So, mahirap i-question ni Torion at Bondok. Maliban sa, idagdag ko na din, hindi siya si VP Sara. Torion and Bondok do not represent VP Sara. So, bakit naman gagalaw si Supreme Court? Akala siguro ni na Attorney Torion, Attorney Bondok last year, nag-file din sila. Kasi last year may 2 or 3 petitions and nag-file naman sina Attorney Torion at Bondok. No? Baka inisip nila, successful sila. Pero, kasama nila nag-file last year, before or after them, was VP Sara. That's why the Supreme Court probably entertained the petition. Ngayon, what's the urgency? Hindi naman nagreklamo yung respondent.